Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to the Superlite coupe build. In this video we are going to trim and install the interior tub closeout panels. So stay tuned. Okay, well we got a little work in process here. So the idea is really to position these panels so that I can drill a couple holes and use some Klecos and attach it to the side of the tub. Let's see, I had a notch out, the front of this panel because there's basically a ridge in there. And then also there was a sort of a big glob of fiberglass against the inside of the tub, and that was sort of interfering with the way the panel was sitting. But for the most part, it's really tight up against the weather stripping. This will wind up being pressed down. If there is a little bit of a gap at some point, I'll just fill the tub, backfill the tub with a little fiberglass, and we'll make sure we get a good seal. All right, so the next step I think is, I may trim this panel just a tad sort of in this area, just to get it to fit a little better. And then I'll drill a couple holes and then we'll secure the panel on the side of the car. Okay, well I got the clamps off and the Klecos in, so I basically put 2 holes, one on each side for the Klecos. Actually secured or taped down the ledge here for the fiberglass tub, because this is really the way it sits when the body's installed. So as you can see, I got a beautiful, nice tight fit through the whole panel. Now, if I had a gap or two, it's no big deal. I could just build the fiberglass up from the underside of the tub. But anyway, I'm glad I got it to fit nice and clean. It probably took me another hour or so of just fine-tuning that panel. It wasn't exactly perfect. But anyway, what I'd like to do now is I want to trim the metal around the seams. And then once I have the metal trimmed up, even trimmed up over here, that'll allow the panels to lay flat. And once the panel lays flat, then I can drill the rest of the holes and insert the Klecos and make sure the panel is secured properly and it lays nice and flat. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, a little more work in process here. Let's see, a couple comments at this stage. You can see that I've installed all the Klecos, and I basically used a 3-inch spacing, and that seems to work. That worked really well on the fuel tank closeout panel. It just holds the panel nice and flat, so I was happy about that. I also trimmed up the panel a little more so it avoids the weld seams here, the weld seam over here, and then also the final weld seam here. I also just decided to move the holes down a little bit. Normally I would put it an inch from the top of the rail. I brought it down a little more because I wanted to be able to have the screw heads come out between the tubes. I didn't want them crowding the clamps or crowding the hoses, because I still have to add some soundproofing and also some heat shielding on the car. So let me see if we can put this in place here. This is sort of why I don't work on camera. It's hard to work with one hand. But anyway, not too bad. All right, here we go. So anyway, if we take a peek, so they're all centered through there. So that's really nice. So I could use a long Allen wrench and screw the screws in just in case if I have to take it out while I continue to work on the car. Okay, so anyway, I think what I'll do now is I'll tap out these holes, and we're coming to the home stretch here. So I'm going to tap these holes out and we'll see if there's anything left to cover. All right, well this would be the next to last segment. Let's see, we've got the panels all drilled out. We've got them all trimmed up. And let's see, the only thing is the passenger side, I had to spend a little more time trimming. Basically, here was the issue. The issue is that, this tub, for some reason, is a little more over, and the seal actually seals against the side, not the top. So I sort of had to taper it so that the seal would not put too much pressure against the side, but I got it right. But anyway, we're going to put these on the car and then we'll call it a wrap. All right, well, I think we're going to call it a wrap here. We've got both panels secured on the car. We've got really the rubber weather stripping in the right place. I mean, if we take a real close peek, it's not crushed in any area, but it does have some pressure applied to it, so I sort of like that. And I like where I decided to put those horizontal screws in between the tubes on both sides. So all in all, once again, it's always a lot more work than you think. Couple panels, screw them in. This is probably 20 plus hours, 20 to 30 hours worth of work in total. But anyway, I really like the way it came out. Let's see, at this point, the passenger compartment is done. I'm going to move back to the fuel compartment, and once we finish that up, then we're going to install the engine and trans. So we're getting there. All right, well, thanks for watching and take care.